Ibiza, the third largest of the Balearic Islands, lies in the Mediterranean Sea and forms part of Spain.
Famed for its warm Mediterranean climate, hot summers tempered by sea breezes and mild, sunny winters, the island draws visitors with its natural beauty and rich history, as much as with the legendary nightlife that has made it the beating heart of electronic music.
The earliest settlement dates to the 7th century BC, when Phoenicians founded the city of Ibiza. It later flourished as both Punic and Roman colony.
After Rome fell, the Arabs took control, renamed the island Medina Yabisa, and left an indelible mark on its culture and farming practices.
In 1235, Ibiza was captured by the Catalans and joined to the Crown of Aragon. From the 16th century, massive Renaissance ramparts, designed by the Italian military engineer Giovanni Battista Calvi, rose around the capital to repel corsairs.
Thanks to this outstanding heritage, the fortified old town, Dalt Vila, was inscribed on UNESCO's World Heritage List in 1999.
On the wild north coast stands the resort of Portinadex, embracing 3 picturesque sandy coves.
Once a tiny fishing hamlet, it became a family favorite for its crystal-clear water and tranquility. Its scenery even served as a backdrop for the 1958 film South Pacific.
High on the cliffs, the black and white banded Far del Moscarter lighthouse, the tallest in the Balearics, was begun in 1975 and lit 2 years later.
At 52 meters, it dominates the headland, its automated beam visible for 18 nautical miles.
Ibiza's interior shelters traditional villages with fortified churches.
One of the finest is Sant Miquel de Balança. Its thick walls served not only for prayer, but as refuge during frequent pirate raids.
The simple whitewashed interior, wooden beams, and a small statue of the infant Jesus of Prague recall the influence of the Discalced Carmelites, whose devotion spread even to Ibiza's remote parishes.
Nearby, the harbor Port de Saint-Michel conceals the 100,000-year-old Cova de Can Marçà.
Discovered by fishermen, it was soon adopted by smugglers who stashed tobacco, coffee, and alcohol in its hidden chambers.
Inside the cave was almost half of your body, around 80 centimeters, maybe 56.
As the cave guide explains, early speleologists crawled through passages barely a handspan high, wading in water. Today, visitors stroll past thousands of stalactites and stalagmites, subterranean pools, and a cascading waterfall, all theatrically lit and set to music.
Perched on a dramatic cliff overlooking the sea, the peaceful village of Es Vedrà centers on a church dedicated to Our Lady of Mount Carmel, patroness of sailors.
In the mid-19th century, Carmelite friar Francisco Palau y Quer settled here as a hermit after retreats on the nearby mystical isle of Es Vedrà.
He founded a small community, built a chapel, and tended the spring whose waters still feed the lush gardens below.
Sant Joan de Labritja captures the essence of laid-back, bohemian Ibiza.
This pretty village of white houses and an 18th century church kept its spirit intact.
The island's freewheeling atmosphere attracted the hippie movement in the 1960s and 70s. Their legacy lives on at the weekly craft markets around the island, where handmade goods, local produce, and live music recall the flower power era.
elegant yet unhurried Santa Eulalia des Riu is Ibiza's third largest town.
Its heart is the tree-lined Passeig de Salamera, stretching from the town hall to the sea and adorned with bronze statues of the Podenco Ibichenko hunting dog, a local icon.
Above, on Puig de Missa, looms an impressive fortified church built in 1568 to repel pirates. Its thick walls and loopholes once housed cannon.
The surrounding countryside, especially near Santa Eulalia, is perfumed by citrus groves, where green, yellow, and bright orange fruit ripen side by side.
At the town's edge, the 17th century Pont Vell spans the Rio de Santa Eulalia, the only river in the Balearics.
Although usually dry today, owing to climate change and heavy agricultural use, it occasionally flows again after winter downpours, recalling its past as the region's lifeline.
Along Ibiza's west coast, nature has carved true works of art. Limestone formations such as Sa Foradada, a sea arch, and the islets of Ses Margalides.
Shaped over millennia by wind and waves, their jagged outlines testify to the relentless power of the elements that continue to sculpt the shoreline.
When the sun sets, Ibiza transforms. Quiet villages become global dance capitals as legendary clubs open their doors after midnight.
Names like Amnesia, Pacha, and Universe, formerly Privilege, once the world's largest club, draw top DJs and electronic music lovers from every corner of the planet. Lolas, among the island's oldest venues, retains an authentic atmosphere, while Cova Santa offers a unique experience. Its parties begin outdoors and move into a natural cavern for a truly magical underground session. On the west coast, Sant Antoni evolved from a sleepy fishing village into a youthful, vibrant town renowned for spectacular sunsets.
From the tiny Capella de Satalia on the hill, visitors enjoy wide views over the bay. The palm-lined promenade features a modern fountain, the historic town hall, and the famous Columbus's egg monument.
It recalls the legend of Christopher Columbus challenging courtiers to stand an egg on its tip. When they failed, he tapped the shell and succeeded, illustrating that ingenious solutions often appear simple only after someone demonstrates them.
Though any link between the explorer and the town is symbolic, the story of his Ibizan origin still circulates.
Ibiza is synonymous with splendid beaches, from long sweeps of golden sand with pulsating beach clubs to secluded coves framed by pine groves.
By day, people bask in the sun, swim in turquoise water, and unwind.
Lively strands like Las Salines and Playa d'Embosa throb with music and crowds, whereas Cala d'Hort, facing Es Vedrà, or peaceful Cala Salada, offer escape and serenity.
Whether you crave buzz or quiet, Ibiza has a beach for everyone. A place where time slows and cares drift away on the tide.
On the rocky shore near Cala Codalar, stands the monumental installation Time and Space, 13 basalt monoliths erected in 2014 by Australian sculptor Andrew Rogers for a Cirque du Soleil project.
Arranged to the Fibonacci sequence, the stones, one rising to 20 meters, beat a silent rhythm that evokes the timeless bond between humanity, Earth, and the limitless cosmos.
A few steps further on, the solitary Puertas Can Soleil stand like an open doorway, framing a breathtaking view of the mystical Isle of Es Vedrà and inviting reflection on where reality ends and imagination begins.
The geologically unique Punta Galera was forged by the collision of the African and European plates and sculpted for millennia by erosion.
Its tiered cliffs have become a natural stage for artists and the backdrop to fashion shoots and music videos by celebrated bands.
The Ses Fontanelles overhang hides Ibiza's oldest evidence of human presence. Bronze Age ship paintings, approximately 1000 BC, discovered in 1917 by French archaeologist Henri Breuil.
Weathering and vandalism have rendered the images faint, yet they still attest to the island's ancient maritime importance.
We set off for Ibiza's highest summit.
The hour-and-a-half walk from the village of Sant Josep de Satalaya leads to the 475-meter peak of Satalaya, where the whole island lies almost in the palm of your hand, and on a clear day, even the Spanish mainland appears on the horizon.
Nearby, Roca Grossa is 10 meters taller and reachable by car, but dense vegetation blocks its views.
South of the airport spreads the Ses Salines Nature Reserve.
Salt has been harvested here for over 2,500 years, still using shallow pans where seawater evaporates under the sun.
Today, the entire area is a protected reserve, home to lizards and over 200 species of birds, including flamingos. We're out of luck with them today, but from the bird hides, we can watch other water birds, such as herons and black-winged stilts.
Ibiza Town, or Ibiza, is a living jewel of history.
Its heart is Dalt Vila, the walled citadel that towers above the harbor.
Renaissance ramparts by Italian engineer Giovanni Battista Calvi safeguarded the city for centuries.
Landmarks include Can Comasema Palace, now a museum of Catalan art, and the Cathedral of Our Lady of the Snows, built on successive sacred sites.
From the walls, dizzying vistas sweep across town and sea to the bustling marina below.
The best entrance is the stone bridge and Portal de Seytol, topped by Philip II's coat of arms and flanked by sculpted Roman legionaries.
Inside, a maze of narrow lanes. Little squares and old houses unfolds.
Plaques mark where Christian troops breached the walls in 1235, while the Wall of Fame bears handprints of Olympians, actors, and other luminaries.
Tree-lined Passeig de Vara de Rey, named after local hero General Joaquin Vara de Rey, hums with cafes and invites lingering.
Down by the docks, the 1915 Monumento a los Corsarios, one of the world's few memorials to privateers, honors the licensed pirates who for centuries defended Ibiza and Formentera.
Wandering these lanes, especially within Dalt Vila, One can stroll for hours among white facades, hidden courtyards and tiny bars, and still stumble upon fresh discoveries.
Our journey ends with the island's most magical emblem, Es Vedrà. This near 400-meter limestone monolith rises from the sea, shrouded in legends of strange magnetism, UFO sightings, and the lost city of Atlantis.
At sunset, the island's contrasts converge, a place of restless nightlife and soulful calm, of deep history and untamed beauty, an island that leaves you believing anything is possible.